Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 5 Minutes of Math. This is Mr. Lunsford, and I'm glad you joined me this evening. Tonight's homework is for the evening of April 23rd and the evening of April 24th, 2018, and the topic is square roots. We're also looking at perfect squares, and we're looking at cube roots. And tonight we're finding the nearest integer. Let's get started. Alright, because this is a review of something that you all have studied for a couple of years and it takes us back to September, I combined both homework episodes into one episode, and it'll be quick. So these are square root calculations, and this is the homework for Monday, April 23rd. I hope you guys did this on your own, but if you didn't, I'm going to go through these anyway. Here we are. 2 times 2 equals 4, so the square root of 4 is 2. Alright, here's our table. We're looking at 45, 46, 47, 48. And we're starting off by looking at the square root of 32. If we're looking at the square root of 32, the next lowest perfect square is 25, and the square root of 25 is 5. The next highest perfect square is 36. The square root of 36 is 6. If we put the square root of 32 into the calculator, we actually get 5.66, and again I'm rounding to the nearest hundredth, and the nearest integer is 6. 5.6 rounds up to 6. That's what we're actually looking for, that nearest integer. Number 46 looks at the square root of 42. The next lowest perfect square is 36. The square root of 36 is 6. The next highest perfect square is 7. And that's the square root of 49. So the square root of the square root of 42 sits between the square root of 36 and the square root of 49. And it sits just about exactly halfway. If you put this in the calculator, you'll get 6.48. Mathematically, a better answer is going to be 7. You might look at this and go, okay, 6.4 if I don't round anything. But if you look at it on a number line, 6.5 is a better answer, and 6.5 rounds up to 7. Alright, so going on to number 47. This looks at the square root of 230. And the square root of 230 sits between the square root of 196, which is 14, and the square root of 225, which is 15. And if you put this into the calculator, you get 15.17, rounding to the nearest hundredth, and the nearest integer is 15. 15.1 or 15.2 rounds down to 15. And number 48. The square root of 96 sits between the square root of 81, which is 9, and the square root of 100, which is 10. If you actually put this into the calculator, you get 9.8, and 9.8 rounds up to 10. Now, we move on to the homework that's actually for tonight, the cube root calculations. And if you forgot what a cube root is, here's what it is. 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So the cube root of 8 is 2. It's a number so that you multiply it by itself 3 times and you end up with your target. So if I multiply 2 by itself 3 times, 2 times 2 times 2, I end up with 8. So the cube root of 8 is 2. Now, this is a much simpler chart. With number 49, we're looking at the cube root, and that is how you draw it, the cube root of 150. If you put this into your calculator, you end up with 5.31, 5.3 rounds down to 5. Number 50, the cube root of 311. If you put this into the calculator, you end up with 6.78. So if you actually type in 6.78 times 6.78 times 6.78, you end up with 311, just about. And the nearest integer is 7. 6.7 or 6.8 rounds up to 7. Number 51, the cube root of 50. The cube root of 50 is 3.68, again rounding to the nearest hundredth, and 3.6 or 3.7 rounds up to 4. Number 52, and this is our last problem, the cube root of 224 is 6.07. 6.0 or 6.1 rounds down to 6.0. Alright, so the nearest integer is 6. That's it. Y'all take care, and remember, math is not just about numbers. It's all about the relationships that surround us every day. Have a good one.